Jai.
Gaur Premanande.
Who are new,
You can
probably
ask
start.
for more.
I mean, can you chanting picture? So we start chanting from here, and then we go and we don't touch this finger. Huh?
It's in my
So we chant like
bag.
this. Right? So this pointing finger is outside, and we chant like this. Okay. Maybe Mother, if you can just show Mother how to chant. Huh? We'll chant with Prabhupada as usual. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna. You can stop maybe, yeah? That's okay. Thank you so much for chanting. Nice. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I request everybody to come a little bit forward. There's not a place over here. We're still expecting some more people if we can. Ari, do you want to move yourself? Please.
इसको आगे कर लो
Because it's recording.
हाँ okay
इसको यहीं रहने देते हैं.
I think वही presentation है ना. I think we have kept some room over here. So thank you all for coming once again on a Friday evening. We could have done so many other things. Thank you for giving your time, your association, and your commitment to coming week after week. Thank you so much. So as usual, we'll chant the prayers together. I request everybody to offer your prayers and we'll chant together. Om Ajnana Tirabhrandasya Jnananjala Shalakaya Chashururubhintena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kalamayam Dhananti Swapadantikam. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitanamine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirveshesha Shunyavadi Pashtaka Deshatarine Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langyate Girim Yadrivataham Vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So as usual, before we begin, we have some new faces here for the first time. I'll request them to introduce yourself in this way. Yes, if you can just introduce yourself to all of us.
My name is Krishna. I come from Doncaster East. I'm an IT professional and in Melbourne for 15 years now. What would you like to learn from Bhakti Vriksha? So I think our purpose is, spending some time with God and all of you, of course. And how did you come to know? So I have a friend who is already, is part of the program. So we just came to know from her.
Thank you. And Rup, what's your name?
So my name is Maulik, obviously from Doncaster East.
Maulik.
Yeah.
Okay.
So even though it's my first time, I've been chanting Krishna a lot because her name is Krishna.
You're very fortunate. I was about to say you're very fortunate. We are all here for you only to get Krishna in our life.
So yeah, similar. I'm in IT as well. All over Melbourne for 20 years now, I think. And I think Bhagavad Gita is the root of Hinduism, so I just want to learn more and pass some of that to him as well, as we learn,
Thank you.
and from friends, of course.
Thank you. Thank you. And you're Gujarati, right?
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming. Because I'm the only Gujarati over here. The only something. Sab IT wale hai. Most of them are from IT and Punjabi. So thank you so much. And please come again. So please welcome Molly Prabhu and Krishna Mataji for saying Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Thank you so much for coming.
This is Kian, by the way.
Huh?
This is Kian.
Kia.
Kian.
Kian.
Kian. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Robin Prabhu, please come. Hare Krishna, please come. Aye. So what we do over here, we'll let Robin Prabhu settle down. Abhishek Prabhu, is Ojaswini inside? Are they having kids class?
No,
She's over here, no? The bachche wahan pe nahi hai, no? Okay, so kids, all the kids can stay here today for the first time. All the kids can just stay here. Why are they inside?
They know their process.
Call them back.
Okay, the kids can stay here today for the first time. Usually we have kids classes and then we have adults classes. But today, adults are going to do a presentation of Bhagavad Gita for the first chapter and the second chapter. So we would like the kids to see how the parents are presenting. Right? So for people who are coming here for the first time and then for people who have been over here, we have completed 9 months. We have completed
9 months.
9 months. And 9 months is a very auspicious time because after 9 months, the baby comes out. So now all of you are enough matured to understand why we are coming over here week after week, month after month. So for the last 9 months, what we have discussed is we covered the series of science of self-realization. So we covered the high-level theme of Bhagavad Gita. And then now what we are doing Namamrita, which is the glories of the holy name of Krishna. And then also we are doing Bhagavad Gita shloka by shloka. So every week we do 5 to 7 shlokas. And we try to understand how those shlokas, how the teachings of Gita can be applied into our day-to-day life. So that's the theme what we have been following. But as usual, before we begin, we usually ask recap from the last week what we discussed and then share any spiritual realization or improvement which you had from the last week. So anybody would like to share their realization from the last week, anything unique which they have done or they felt for the first time? Anybody? Yes. Yes, please.
Like previously, we used to say, okay, we have time now, let's go to the temple. That has changed. I
Yes.
think our priorities are more to go to the temple and walk around that. Every Sunday we are going for the past 3 weeks, and we've made a commitment that we will go every Sunday.
Jai, please give a round of applause to Sapan Guru and Neha. They came from Mount Gambier on last Sunday. They went home and they came back again to the temples. That was so nice.
That was really.
Oh, it was magical.
That was magical,
It was
right?
magical. Yeah. I think the whole 2 hours, I don't know, my tears didn't stop. It was so in like it's peaceful and calm, amazing kirtan. Yeah.
So for people who don't know what they're talking about, we had 2 hours of non-stop kirtan by His Grace Madhav Prabhu in the temple. And unfortunately, we had no place. It was like Janmashtami in April. The temple hall was packed. People were queuing up outside the temple.
They were sitting at the stairs also when I
Everywhere there were so many people that they couldn't even come inside the temple. But, Krishna's mercy, we were all there inside, So Gujarati में कहावत है, जारे लक्ष्मी चांदलो करवा आवे तो मोड़ू धोवा ना जवाए. उसमें क्या इंग्लिश हिंदी में how do you translate? जब लक्ष्मी जी
घर आती है तो इवन
हाँ
जब लक्ष्मी जी घर आती है तो इवन कोई
लक्ष्मी जी जब घर आती है तो मुंह धोने नहीं जाते. You just get her, right? Something like that. So similarly, when there are occasions like this in our life, that we can change our life, we can offer ourselves to Krishna. Are we making ourselves available or not? That is the question. Krishna is making himself available. But are we making ourselves available or not? That is the question. It was so good to see this Ram, Lakshman and Sita Mai. All three of them were there at 4:20 in the morning for Mangla Aarti on last Sunday. I was so happy. How was your experience? आप लोग first time आए थे ना?
Very good.
Like,
हाँ?
I don't know. भगवान एकदम ऐसे नाइस लग रहे थे ना मेरे को एकदम जब 7 बजे वो उनको ड्रेस किया गया था दोबारा से ड्रेस अप
7 o'clock वाला dress बहुत अच्छा था।
जी
बहुत very peaceful.
Very peaceful.
पता नहीं चला 6 घंटा चला गया
6 घंटा from 4:20 till 9:20 they were in the temple. 9:30 10 o'clock तक मंदिर में थे ना. 6 hours in the temple. I remember when I went for the Mangla Aarti for the first time ever. The total time when I stood in front of the deities was my total time in my life. Total time in my life and the total time of Mangla, I think it was exactly the same. क्योंकि हम लोग मंदिर जाते तो क्या करते हैं यूजुअली मंदिर के माथा टेका आंख बंद किए भगवान के सामने and then you come out. The worst thing is you close your eyes in front of the Lord. शाहरुख खान दिखेगा, ऐश्वर्या राय दिखेगी, कटरीना कैफ दिखेगी, आंख बंद करोगे आंख खोलोगे, सही बताना बंद करेंगे yes. एक तो मिलता है हमें. So what do we do? And when we go in front of the deities, people close their eyes. You come all the way to open your eyes and open your consciousness, and we go there, close the eyes, and 30 seconds, 2 minutes, we go out. So when you stand in front of the deities, look at them, talk to them, admire them, your life changes. Thank you.
I went next day also.
You also went next
Just
day?
for Mangla Aarti.
Only for Mangla?
Yeah. I had office, so couldn't go for a long time.
I tell, don't come to Mangla, because if you come to Mangla, your heart will be stolen. And don't come to Shringar, because if you come to Shringar, your mind will be stolen. Yes or no?
Yes.
People who have come, they can watch for it. If you come for Mangla, your heart will be stolen, and if you come for Shringar, your mind will be stolen.
We have generally I have fixed from round of chantings I do, but on that day I did 16 for the first time. It was in temple suit.
कैसा लगा?
अच्छा लगा.
And 16 हो सकते हैं नहीं हो सकते रोज?
हो सकता है.
हो सकता है. Thank you. Anybody else would like to share anything from? Yes.
So last
Sheetal
time
Mataji.
you asked to practice those verses and asked us to prepare for those verses. So for the first time I read the verse what you asked. Every week you tell us that you need to prepare, you need to read and come. But I didn't do. But then I realized that it is really beneficial, and it was so I listened to those in Sanskrit. So it was so calm, peaceful. So I really liked it and I enjoyed it. And now I promised myself I am going to do it before I come to this session every Friday.
Jai.
I'll read all the verse and come, whatever you do.
Jai, please give a round of applause to Sheetal Mataji. Thank you. Thank you. Reading Bhagavad Gita shlokas, it is for ourselves, not for others. So when we read the shlokas, when we read the purport, we will have so much of eye-opening information. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Jyoti Mataji.
Two things which I think I told you also. I've been chanting morning first thing after my daughter goes to school. First half an hour will be chanting. I've been crying. I don't know what. Tears just roll my roll, and I'm very emotional for what I do not know. So I was a little scared, to be honest, very initially. Why am I crying so much? Hence I messaged you. The second thing is, I know there's an exam, but I didn't know the first time I was not there. But as she said, and we both are talking, the Sanskrit words are very difficult, right? So I took an audio, and even when I'm typing my office message, I have that going in my mind what the Sanskrit words are, because it's very tough. And I remember what you said, keep reading. Automatically the God will tell you what the meaning of the verse is. For the first time you read, you'll not understand. So I think it's how much you give yourself, and the verse that I had practiced when I present exactly meant what I was doing.
Thank you. Because the words of Bhagavad Gita are the words of Krishna. So Bhagavad Gita is the words of Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam is the activities of the Lord. And Chaitanya Charitamrita is the mind of the Lord. So we have access to the words of the Lord, we have access to the activities of the Lord, and we have access to the mind of the Lord. So we have access to everything what is required. Are we accessing it or not? If you have a password of Mukesh Ambani's bank account, and if you don't access it, and still go to work every day, then कोई बोलेगा अक्ल नहीं है क्या? यूजर नेम है, पासवर्ड दिया हुआ है तुझे मुकेश अंबानी के बैंक अकाउंट में, तो भी मंडे सुबह गधों की तरह काम पे जा रहा है. Yes or no? Just be honest. Yes or no? Similarly, Krishna has given access to the words. Krishna has given access to his activities, and Krishna has given access to his mind. तन मन धन बोलते ना, तो भगवान ने सब चीज का एक्सेस दिया है. उसके बाद भी अगर हम भक्ति में प्रोग्रेस नहीं होते, even if we are still stubborn in our own thought processes, then we are going to lose the battle and we are going to lose the war anyways. Thank you, Jyotima. Anybody else would like to share anything from last week? Dolly Mother जी आप चुप हो? Chanting कर रहे हो? Anybody would like to share anything before we go for a quick recap? No? Okay. Gitansh, कौन recap करना? Mataji, okay. Mataji, all right. बच गया. इसको boost की दौड़. Just bribe him so that he can get the favorable answer. All right, Meenakshi Mataji, would you like to go first, please? What did we discuss in the last week's?
Basically, one was the example that of iron ring and the log that we discussed.
Iron ring and the wood.
Wooden log.
Yeah, wooden log.
So if it is a wooden log, it floats, and iron ring small enough falls down. And similarly, and if it is put on the wooden log, it starts floating. So similarly, the association and the chanting will make us float and realize what we want.
Sure. Thank you. Very nice example, Mataji. So we spoke about wood and the ring. If the wood is attached to the ring, then the ring can float. Similarly, if we are in association with devotees, no matter how many anarthas we have, but we can easily float to the other side of the ocean. Thank you. Anybody else? Mataji? Yes, Vishali Mataji. And then Neha Mataji.
Krishna consciousness is often associated with inertia, so we shouldn't do that mistake. It's all about doing everything you need to do, doing all your karmas, but karma, and doing it with Krishna at the center.
Sure. So when we started the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita, just for Molly Prabhu and people who are new, we started the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and Krishna is making a point that Krishna consciousness is not a process of inertia. It is a process of being dynamic, not static. Right? So resting is rusting. So okay, I've got books for everybody. Where's Ali? Gitansh, can you give books and pens to everybody? So we have got books and pens to everybody so that you can write it down. If you don't have a book and pen, Gitansh will provide book and pen, because in spite of so many requests, people are coming empty-handed. So अगर मस्तक और पुस्तक दोनों खाली है तो कुछ नहीं हो सकता. So we have got pustaks for you. So give a pen and books so that you can write it down some good points if you like. Write your name on the book. School जैसा लग रहा है मुझे. Usually school 12 जून को शुरू होता था हमारे South India. 12 जून. महाराष्ट्र 12 जून for that. 12 12 ना ऐसे लगता था.
मेरे को तो पेपर वाली फीलिंग आ रही है.
हाँ?
कि नाम लिख लो सबसे पहले.
वो नाम लिख लो, सबका एक ही बुक लगे. So give a pen and give a book for people who don't have.
इधर उधर सफल नहीं करेंगे.
I think one which you said was very relevant, and it process will take to the progress, and progress will take to the path of perfection.
Thank you. Okay, so one comment at once. So Jyoti Mataji made a very beautiful point. We spoke about 3 P's. Process leads to progress. Progress leads to perfection. So when we follow the process of Krishna consciousness, we will definitely progress. What is the process of Krishna consciousness? Who would like to summarize? What are the do's and don'ts?
Four basic. 16 rounds of chanting, No mass eating, meat eating.
Yeah.
No intoxication, no gambling,
No illicit
no
sex.
illicit
No
sex.
and
No gambling.
no gambling.
So the whole process of Krishna consciousness, the do's and don'ts are chant 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra daily and follow the 4 regulative principles. If you cannot follow the 4 regulative principles, that's okay. But when you start chanting 16 rounds, the 4 regulative principles will automatically happen. So don't focus on the don'ts, focus on the do's. भगवान के नाम में इतनी शक्ति है कि आप जो चीज नहीं कर सकते हो अपने आप करवा देगी. But if you focus on don'ts and if you don't do the do's, so then you'll be focusing on the negativity. So focus on what you can do. Thank you, Jyoti Mataji. Anybody else? Yes.
I have 2 things.
Yes.
ISKCON is not a police station, but a beauty parlor and hospital to the soul. And another thing is, सुबह when I don't wake up and I'm sleeping, but I know I have to wake up and chant. तो दिमाग में आती है, कुछ तो करोगे.
Snoozing or stopping?
Okay, thank you. So Dolly Mataji made a very good point because Jyoti Mataji last week made a point that her friend was saying that Jyoti Mataji is glowing, and we made a point. You glow because ISKCON is a beauty parlor. It is a beauty parlor for the soul. Right? We go to the beauty parlor for the body. This is the beauty parlor for the Atma. And then ISKCON or Mandir, temple is not a police station. Temple is a hospital. When you go to police station, you go for complaints. Right? We don't go to temple for complaint कि मुझे ये चाहिए, मुझे वो चाहिए, मुझे ये करवा दो, मेरा ये करवा दो. That is police station mentality. We go to temple because we are sick. The Atma wants Krishna and we don't have that. We want to acquire that. Thank you. And Prabhu mentioned a very nice point. Snooze band ho gaya hai. Very fortunate. Very fortunate. Mataji mana kar rahe hain?
2:30 का अलार्म उस दिन से लगा हुआ है जिस दिन मंदिर गए थे.
हाँ.
बंद करवा दिया ना, वो 2:30 का अलार्म बंद कर दिया. नहीं बस जैसे थोड़ा क्या ना 6 बजे फिर 6:30 बजे का 6:30 बजे उठेंगे पर इट्स लाइक ना 5:45 आई हैव टू गेट अप बिकॉज़ 6 बजे स्टार्ट करना है. दैट इज ओके.
सुनाई नहीं दे रहा चिन्ना प्रभु.
प्रभु जी सोए नहीं.
हाँ? सोए नहीं. It's good. We spoke about the alarms and the dog and human beings. कुत्ता एक बार में उठ जाता है. The street dog, the dog can get up at once. And if we are lazy in the bed, that means if we love sleeping more than getting up, that means the value of what we are doing after getting up has no relevance.
You don't have any exciting thing to think.
You don't have any exciting to do. That is the reason सोना लोग पसंद करते हैं. Right? So we should not be wasting time sleeping. We should be getting up and be like a soldier ready to be in Krishna's army. Do bhakti. Thank you. One more point and then we'll start today's discussion. Anything else?
We spoke about the senses.
Yes.
Last time that we can't control the senses and that's a common thing with everyone. But just dovetail the senses and engage them to the Krishna consciousness.
Very good. Can you please give a round of applause to this beautiful one? Do not try to control the senses. Dovetail the senses. The process of Krishna consciousness is not to control the mind, control the senses, control the intelligence. It's to purify the mind. It's to purify the intelligence and dovetail the senses. So, खाना मना नहीं है, लेकिन भगवान का प्रसाद खाओ. बोलना मना नहीं है, लेकिन भगवान की बातें करो. Right? ऐसा करो कि हर चीज भक्ति के साथ connected हो. It should be connected to Krishna rather than independent. That is the whole point of Krishna consciousness. You talk about Krishna. Matchita, Madkata, Pranam, Bodha, Yanta, Parasparam, Katha, Yantascha, Mam Nityam, Tushchanti cha, Ramanti cha. Katha, Yantascha, Mam Nityam. Krishna is saying, you talk about me, Nityam. So it's not about not talking. It's not about not walking. It's not about not working. a devotee is the most hard-working person. A devotee is the most hard-working person. सुबह 3 बजे से 4 बजे से काम करेगा, रात में 10 बजे तक करेगा. And karmic people will get up late and they do everything what is not allowed to be done. So we don't want to spend and waste our life like that. Early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy and wise. Okay. Alright, let's begin today's discussion. So today, as we agreed, we requested devotees to come and present the first 2 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, right? So we'll request in this order, and we'll request the team to come. The whole idea is we wanted devotees to know each other, work in a team, and come and present. So everybody only gets 5 minutes, right? Everybody only gets 5 minutes. So I have a stop clock over here. So please watch the stop clock. 4 minutes 30 seconds. We'll have the first bell, and 5 minutes you have to stop wherever you are, right? क्या हो गया?
I haven't calculated कि 5 मिनट बोल पाऊंगा कि नहीं बोल पाऊंगा. तो हमारे साथ सही था. एक वर्ष नहीं है, सबको इतने वर्ष दिए 1 to 12. हमारी फैमिली को 3 वर्ष दिए हैं प्रभु.
Well, but then there's not to be spoken.
We can ask questions, don't worry.
Okay, thank you, Jyoti Mataji. Alright, we'll request the first family, Kumaran Prabhu, Manoj Prabhu, and Monish Prabhu to come over here. So Manoj Prabhu, unfortunately, is not available. He pinged me. So Kumaran Prabhu and Deepika Mataji and Monish Prabhu, if I can request, come over here, and we'll request you to present.
They will come in the front.
Oh, they're coming in the front?
Yes.
अब आईडी वाले
आइए माता जी कम here
come here come on you need fight we are running out of time
पीछे देखिए फ्रूट है पीछे
Can you see his face?
No.
Yeah.
We can't see.
पीछे करना पड़ेगा प्रभु. या इसको थोड़ा सा फोल्ड करें. आ गया. RN is there.
Yeah. Now you can.
अरे इतनी आ गई.
Okay, we just start. Okay, timer started.
अरे तो चेकिंग हो गई.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. Bhagavad Gita, about Bhagavad Gita, Maharishi Veda Vyas wrote the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Srila A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada have written the commentary and the puppet. Bhagavad Gita is a song of God spoken directly by the Supreme Personality of the God. Ahead, Shri Krishna, one should read Bhagavad Gita very with the devotees of Shri Krishna and understand it as it. Bhagavad Gita has 700 verses. Bhagavad Gita is divided into 3 parts. Chapter 1 to 6 Karma Yoga, Chapter 7 to 12 Bhakti Yoga, Chapter 13 to 18 Jnana Yoga.
Hare Krishna everybody. So Krishna spoke 574 verses in Bhagavad Gita, and he guarantees 22 times that by engaging in devotional service to the Lord and not thinking about the results, it frees us from the cycle of birth and death. Bhagavad Gita also talks about 5 subject matters: Jiva, living entities; Ishvara, Supreme Lord; Prakriti, material nature; time, duration of existence; and Karma, activity. So we'll just start with the setting the scene. So 64 crores people were assembled for the Mahabharata war. This was the biggest war of mankind, and it was fought between Kauravas and Pandavas in the presence of Lord Shri Krishna. So Lord Shri Krishna was the charioteer of Pandavas, indicating dharma on the side of Pandavas. Duryodhana and Arjun went to Sri Krishna to ask for help in the war. Krishna fights for on the side of Arjun because he asked for Krishna, that is, he asked for the Krishna Annam, and Duryodhana asked for the entire army. So our learning is this, when we pray, what we ask for, that is love of God or His wealth. So
Thank you, Mother. Next verse, we sort of understand Dhritarashtra's mind. So, Dhritarashtra, Kauravas and Pandavas were both part of the Kuru dynasty, whereas Dhritarashtra called the Pandavas as Pandavas because they were sons of Pandu. It shows this mentality where he was segregating them from the Kuru dynasty. So, it shows us that he ignored his responsibility, which he had promised his brother. So what's our learning here? So are we taking care of our responsibility or not? Before the battle starts, Arjuna requests Krishna to take the chariot in the middle of the battlefield because he wants to see who are the army generals who's going to be fighting with him. And then he gets overwhelmed with attachment towards his relatives who are standing on the other side. His grief-stricken. So Bhagavad Gita was spoken to Arjuna by Lord Krishna when Arjuna surrendered to him as a disciple. Before he surrendered, he was his friend, he was his relative, but as soon as he surrendered as a disciple, Lord Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita. So we need to understand here that Arjuna is just an instrument here, whereas the Bhagavad Gita has been spoken to all of mankind. It's spoken for us as well. One of the other learnings here is that Arjuna, in the middle of the war, he stops to think about and reflect and to see that if we are on the right path or not. So similarly, are we taking the time out to reflect to see are we on the right path toward the higher destination or not? It's very, very important. In the start of Bhagavad Gita, we can see that three people were blind. Arjuna was blind initially with attachment, Dhritarashtra with attachment as well, and Duryodhana was blind because of pride, envy and jealousness. With the blessings of Ved Vyas, Sanjaya, the charioteer of Dhritarashtra, was given the divine vision to see the battlefield and was also able to narrate what is happening to the blind king. What we can get to learn here is that we foresee many things, but we still don't action. This is because of attachment and ignorance. Sanjaya and Arjuna changed when they heard the Bhagavad Gita, whereas Dhritarashtra did not change. So we need to ensure we surrender to the process for that. In the next few verses, we can see that Duryodhana was a great politician. He approaches his guru, but he approaches the guru in terms of he tries to find faults, he doubts him, and he makes his guru angry as well.
Thank you, Kumar Prabhu. Thank you, Nanu Mataji, and thank you, Modi Prabhu. Very nice.
Very nice.
Very nice. Thank you. So today we are going to get a summary of everything what we have discussed. So please make notes as much as possible because this is a good summary for all of us. Okay, so next is verse number 13 to 20. Vikram Prabhu, Rankesh Prabhu, and Pradeep Prabhu. Where is Rankesh Prabhu? चले गए रंकेश हो गया okay no he said he didn't arrest me okay Pradeep Prabhu and Vikram Singh Prabhu oh so you're Rajat sorry okay आप ही हो आज आयो he's a professor anyway so he can
It would be a really short.
that's okay whatever Prabhuji and what you have prepared and what you have felt so far in the last 9 months, if you want to share, whatever.
I'll just focus on the verse 13 to 20, so which is all about the setting the scene for the war. When all the armies in the battlefield are in front of each other, and Arjun asked Krishna to take the rats to the center of the battlefield. And from 13 to 14 is all about everyone start sounding their shankars and drums, and the sound of the drums was so loud, and it shaken the heart of the Kauravas. But when Kauravas start sounding the drums, and the sound was not so great, and because that was Pandavas not threatened by the challenge, and this was because of the Krishna was backing them up. So that's what I got it, because where there is the Krishna, so there is the will, there is the power.
Mare Krishna rakhe koi, rakhe Krishna mare koi. So if Krishna wants to protect you, nobody can kill you. And if Krishna wants to kill you, nobody can protect you. So Mare Krishna rakhe koi, rakhe Krishna mare. Thank you. Very good. Okay. Next is Rajiv Koshla Prabhu, Sharad Prabhu and Jyoti Mataji. Verse number 21 to 27.
I'll start with 21 is what I told them this week couldn't connect.
Oh, is it okay?
But I have not prepared like how they have prepared.
प्रभु के साथ better half. बाजू में ताजी. Support, moral support.
I haven't prepared like how you guys have prepared, so.
Whatever suits you, but what is the learning? What have you learned and how can we apply that in our lives?
Bhagavad Gita verse 21 and 22. Arjuna Vacha Senayor Ubayor Madhye Ratam Sapaye Nichuta Yadyam Nirsheham Yodu Kaman Vasistan Karamye Saha Yodhyam Asmine Rana Samudhyame. In this, what Arjuna tells Krishna is Achyuta. Achyuta means a person who guides or who's there to take care of you. Take me to the center of the world, where I can see both the enemies or parties coming, and I'll be more focused on it. In this, what I understood is, what Arjuna says is, what Krishna says is, my devotee is giving complete trust on me and asking me to take care of him. When a devotee is giving himself and surrendering himself to me, it becomes my duty to take care of the devotee, and it is my responsibility equally as the devotee's responsibility that I need to give back to the devotee. So I'm always in debt in the same way that they are in debt to me. So that's what I felt in this entire verse.
Hare Krishna. I have done the verse 23 to 25. The verse number 23, Arjun was fearless because the Supreme Lord was driving his chariot. His outlook was that the Pandavas were legitimately entitled to get the half of the kingdom of Hastinapur. But Kauravas had not agreed to share. Arjun was eager to get back what was right and punish enemies for their past wrongdoings. He requests for the chariot to be placed in the middle of the battlefield to take closer look at the Kauravas' army. So he wanted to see all those who had taken side of injustice. In the verse number 24, Sanjay said, "O Dhritarashtra, Sri Krishna then drew the chariot between the two armies." In the verse number 25, the Lord Sri Krishna was setting the stage. He was preparing the ground for the reason of the Bhagavad Gita. He was about to preach Bhagavad Gita, which would benefit the future generation. He called Arjuna Parth, son of Pritha, which was another name for his mother Kunti. Then he pointed all the warriors like Bhishma, Drona and other on the Kaurava side and deliberately used the word Kuru to address them, just to remind Arjun that both Kauravas and Pandavas were all descendants of King Kuru. Lord Krishna wants Arjun to think the way that enemy he was so eager to kill was actually his own family and relatives. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
You're doing very well time-wise. मुझे लग रहा है सबको रोकना पड़ेगा. Very good, very disciplined. Usually आपको बहुत हो गया. All right, next. Now we see verse number 28 and 30. Arjun is bewildered. Is completely confused. So we saw Arjun was uncertain, and now Arjun is bewildered. And this is by Meenakshi Mataji, Chinmay Prabhu, and Harsh Prabhu and family.
और ये बहुत सारे लोग हैं
Everybody line up.
Start हो गया टाइम माताजी start हो गया.
Hare Krishna everyone. So that as Prabhu mentioned, the next three verses highlight the sense of bewilderment that Arjuna overcame with during the start of the, in fact prior to the start of the war. So I'll start with verse 1.28. Arjuna said, "My dear Krishna, seeing my friends and relatives present before me in such a fighting spirit, I feel the limbs of my body quivering and my mouth drying up." So now Arjuna, standing in the midst of both the armies, is able to see all the warriors on the other side. And he is overwhelmed, basically overtaken by sadness and disappointment that almost all his relatives and friends have come to fight with him. He was astonished to see their feistiness. Being a true devotee of the God, he had a soft heart, which led to origination of thoughts of destruction that the war will cause. He was anyways earlier worried about the soldiers of his own side, but this sight made him realize how many soldiers, how many people will be dying due to the war, which made his limbs go weak and mouth dry. This was not a sign of weakness, but it was his love, his compassion for fellow beings that led to his mind being clouded by such thoughts.
Purport 1.29. My whole body is trembling, my hair is straining on the end, my bow gandiva is slipping from my hand, and my skin is burning.
So, in purpose, Prabhupada is trying to tell everyone, there's a two sign, trembling and end of the hair is standing. We always get these two signs either in spirituality or when we are in materialistic world. So here, Arjun is not in spirituality, he is in materialistic world. When we think about so many things, we think, okay, I have done this, I have done that, and now he's thinking about his gandiva. He thought he has taken a vow of that, like he never give up on his gandiva. If somebody will ask him to give up on gandiva, he will kill him. So he is ready to even kill his own relatives. But then Krishna is telling him, no, you can't do that. So every time when we attach with the materialistic things, then Prabhu told us, no, please don't do it. I am giving you some solution. Please stop doing this. So in this verse, actually, the different form of bewilderment shown in Arjuna's, that is not the clarification from the God is not for the Arjuna only. As Kumaran Prabhu has explained, the whole picture was for all of us. We are so much attached with other things, we don't even think about what is good or what is bad for ourselves.
I am now unable to stand here any longer. I am forgetting myself and my mind is reeling. I see only causes of misfortune. O Krishna, killer of the Keshi demon.
Arjuna is in conflict between his duty or dharma and morality, or in other words, maintaining personal sentiments and relationships. The battle is between dharma and adharma, not between Arjuna and his relatives. Arjuna has a natural compassion and attachment towards his relatives, and therefore is confused and forgetting to fulfill his duties as a king and Kshatriya. To reiterate, Arjuna is using his materialistic attachments towards his relatives as one of the reasons to not fight this war. Additionally, Arjuna mentions that nothing good will come from this war and it would be the cause of his sorrows. All he can see is that this war will cause only pain, which is the opposite emotions of winning a war. He believes this because his self-interest is misaligned and does not lie with Krishna. This is well explained in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 2, verse 37. The verse talks about the onset of fear and bewilderment when one forgets his position as a servant of Lord Krishna. Krishna himself says that nothing in this world is changing, nothing is constant. The common sense thing to do is to not be attached to this materialistic world and focus on the one constant, which is Krishna himself. Arjuna is addressing Krishna as Keshava, the killer of the demon Keshi. He is acknowledging Krishna as a divine being or of divine nature and seeking his guidance to help him decide how to move forward in this war. To conclude, Arjuna is slowly realizing Krishna to be the supreme personality of Godhead and surrendering to him.
Good timing. Perfect. Thank you, Hari. Very nice. And Amit, you have any words to say about that?
Can I say this? All these three groups, they come dedicatedly for reading every Monday to Thursday. There were people who, and I won't name them purposely to not to embarrass them. There were people who have joined reading at 8:59 when we were about to finish the reading and said that we were late in office, so 1 minute भी मिला तो मैं join कर लेता हूँ.
Jai. Please give a round of applause. So we have a group of people who read Bhagavad Gita every day. What time?
8:30.
8:30 to
8:45.
Every day.
Every day.
So Monday to Thursday they read Bhagavad Gita every day. And I remember Harsh Prabhu and Dolly Mataji came to my house once and said, Prabhu, can I dial in where reading chal raha hai? So while they were at my house, they dialed in for the reading. So that is commitment and dedication. This is exactly what Krishna looks at. Prabhupada says, your sincerity is your God consciousness. Very important. Your sincerity is your God consciousness. हम अपने भक्ति में कितने sincere हैं? Krishna looks at the sincerity of a devotee. He doesn't look at anything external. Is this making sense? Krishna looks at the sincerity of the devotee. He doesn't look at the external कि कितना खाना खिलाया, कितना donation किया. He doesn't want all that. Of course, we should still do it sincerely, but Krishna looks at the sincerity. And what Dolly Mataji and Harsh Prabhu, when they came, they said, Amit Prabhu ka reading chal raha hai, can I log in? Even while they were at our house, उनके साथ और कौन था? Abhishek Prabhu. हाँ, Vishali Mataji की family थी. They dialed in while they were reading. So that was so nice. Thank you. Thank you. Next, now in Bhagavad Gita, towards the tail end of the first chapter, it is a turning point. So verse number 31 to 42, it is a turning point where Arjun is going to turn and give up. But we don't have people to take up because Yogeshwar Prabhu and Samar Prabhu both are not over here. Am I right? Is Yogesh Prabhu here in Samar Prabhu's family? No. Okay. Alright, let's move on. Then, now we are in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. The contents of Gita summarized. And it is Guru. The verse number 1 and 10 by Dilip Prabhu and Usha Mataji. So Usha Mataji is not available.
Also, Divya Mata is not available.
Yeah,
so I think we are doing more as a family now.
It's a Joshi family. Please give a round of applause to Joshi family.
But thank you, Usha Mataji and them for contributing.
Yeah.
Ready, Amisha.
I like his confidence.
He's always, always. हंसते हंसते
हंसते हंसते कट जाए रास्ते.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, sir.
When the two armies of Duryodhana and Yudhishthira were ready to fight, Arjuna requested his charioteer Lord Krishna to take him in between armies to show him opposition. Arjuna became very sad and confused, for how can he fight with his relatives? Bhagavad Gita is mostly the conversation between them. Chapter 2 is a summary of Bhagavad Gita covered in 4 parts, acronym as Gita, where G stands for Guru, to whom Arjuna surrenders to learn about his duty. I identify soul, which is eternal. T, 2 duties, Swadharma, bodily duties based on age and nature, and Sanatan, which is eternal. Dharma for soul to be. A for Atmara, please do within, not disturbed by external world situation, and keeping Krishna in the center.
Okay, so thank you both of you. Chapter 2 is summary of, okay, I've covered that. Arjun, who was not just the greatest archer and the great warrior, who had never lost in the time, but also a Budakesh, who is winner of the sleep, a superior learned person and a great soul himself. He had Divya Gandiv and chariot, coming from the Agni himself. He had Yudhamanyu and Uttamoja, the Maharathis defending his dedicated sides or wheels, and the Lord himself as his driver. When he sides, the opposition having all the relatives, especially Bhishma and Duryodhan, for whom he had utmost respect, to whom he actually used to pray, have in prayers, he was caught by attachment to them. He had fought many battles before, including one at Virat with same opposition, but this time he was fighting for gaining back his own kingdom. So it was his own fight now. It was wrongly held by Duryodhan. They were attackers, not defenders this time. Unlike Virat Yuddha, where they were actually defending, and then he had never a confusion of that sort that time. He is now full of compassion and sees no value in fight for material gain that he may not even enjoy in absence of his relatives. He thinks it will accumulate sins, the killing family, and polluting the many clans whose man dies now in this war. It looks so easy and better to rather give a fight for the kingdom and stay in force instead. Krishna expresses his surprise. How come Arjun's intelligence or wisdom has been taken away by weakness due to the attachment? He expresses this still. This will result in his fall only. So Krishna tells him really clearly that if you are bewildered by that attachment you have, it will only result in your fall. However, Arjuna stays confused as he stands to lose He stands to lose in both cases, win or lose. He was possibly baffled. Why can't it be settled without for a war? While he knows inside as well that this war has been in the making for long, since their childhood, and the war seems the only solution to settle it. But still, his attachment to Bhishma and Drona in particularly melts him. As a result, he is utterly confused and surrenders to Krishna.
So in these verses, we learned that Arjuna is very confused, and then he said that Arjuna said that I'm miserably bewildered in this battlefield, said, it's good to be a beggar than to kill my people who are my teachers and my superiors. How will I be happy with killing all those people? So I am confused and surrendering into you, hey Lord Krishna. I'm your disciple. Please guide me, please instruct me what to do and what are my duties. You are my spiritual master, please instruct me. So in 7 to 10 verses, Arjuna surrendered into Krishna's feet and asking his shelter. So that teaches us the importance of the spiritual master, because he thought that Krishna is his spiritual master and his guru, and then he wants his opinion and views to be know his duties. So the guru can be from any social position. It doesn't depend on their position or anything. It is just he must be a Vaishnava or master in Krishna consciousness. People can be expert or wealthy in their fields, but the problem of material existence can exist in any present life. So it is just having a guru who can direct you to the Krishna consciousness. Krishna conscious, it is what we need in this material world.
Because Yogesh Prabhu we covered all 5 minutes. That's okay.
You took a lot.
That was your fault.
So what Mataji explained right now, she explained verse number 2.7, that's Karpanya dosho patasava prushamita dhamma samuttajeta yastre satnishidam ruitatme shishyaste shadi matvam prapatram. He was totally confused what to do, what to not, then where to surrender. So he surrendered to the perfect person in this world, that's the Krishna. So, and he considered himself shishya to that perfect person. That's it.
Wow.
I missed you because you were trying to go to Tasmania, right? Really, I did put your name. And then we had the plan change, so my bad. My apologies.
He grabbed opportunity. But
Yeah.
Huh?
I checked with him.
He
Who
grabbed
took
opportunity.
2.7?
Okay.
In the family.
Okay, next is now Arjun has surrendered to Lord Krishna in the second chapter, 7th verse. And now Krishna is going to talk for the first time in Bhagavad Gita. And what Krishna is going to speak, let's learn or understand that from Abhishek Prabhu, Raj Mania Prabhu, and Sapan Prabhu's family. So this is verse number 11 to number 30.
माझा वकील होतो. That is the most important verse.
247 and 2.7.
Hare Krishna everyone.
Hare Krishna everyone. So we are talking about chapter 2, verses from 11 to 30, which is identity. Basically, this chapter is the sense of Sankhya Yoga, which can be categorized into the four things. In this one, Arjuna completely surrenders himself to Lord Krishna and accepts his position as a disciple and Krishna as a guru. He requests Krishna to guide on him how to dismiss sorrow. Explanation of the main cause of all grief, which is ignorance of the true nature of self. He talks about the Karma Yoga, the discipline of the selfless action being attached to its fruits. So, in this, we call it as a Sankhya Yoga. Samkhya Yoga. Samkhya refers to the analytical approach of discerning reality through knowledge and understanding. And Yoga signifies a path to discipline. Krishna, in this from verses 11 to 30, Krishna explains the nature of the soul, stressing that it is beyond birth and death. He advises Arjuna to rise above attachment and focus on performing his duty selflessly. The rest I will leave it to Vishali
Hare Krishna everyone. So I'll go shloka by shloka. So 2.11, Krishna said to Arjun कि हे अर्जुन, तुम्हें लग रहा है कि तुम बहुत समझदारी की बात कर रहे हो, but in reality what you're doing is grieving for something which is not even worth grieving. ये शरीर, क्योंकि अर्जुन सोच रहा था कि मेरे आसपास जितने मेरे रिश्तेदार हैं, जितने मेरे भाई बहन हैं, सॉरी आई टॉक इन माय ओन लैंग्वेज, तो जितने भी मेरे भाई बहन हैं, रिश्तेदार हैं, सब कोई you know, they're all gonna die. I'm gonna be the reason for their demise. So that's what was worrying him. And in this verse, Krishna explains to him कि जो जिस चीज के लिए तुम वरी कर रहे हो, that's actually the body, which is not worth grieving for. That's 2.11. Then coming to 2.12, Krishna says, extending from 2.11, why it's not worth grieving for? क्योंकि कोई ऐसा समय नहीं था जब हम नहीं थे, और कब कोई ऐसा समय होगा ही नहीं जब हम नहीं होंगे. So all the souls that you can see here, there was never a time they did not exist, and there will never be a time when they won't exist. So even they are going to drop their bodies, the souls are going to be there. That's 2.12. And then 2.13, कृष्णा कहते हैं कि जैसे कि हमारी बॉडी में सोल है, हम बचपन से वो सोल हमारे अंदर है एंड बुढ़ापे तक वही सोल हमारे अंदर है, तो दैट सीम्स ओके टू अस, क्योंकि दैट वी आर सीइंग इट हैपनिंग, राइट. हमारे पास प्रमाण है कि बचपन से लेकर बूढ़े होने तक हमारे शरीर में वही सोल है. लेकिन बूढ़े होने के बाद जब हमारी मृत्यु होती है, उसके बाद जब हम नए शरीर में जा रहे हैं, तो वही सोल एक नए शरीर में चली गई, विच वी आर यूजुअली नॉट एबल टू एक्सेप्ट, बट दैट्स what the truth is. So that's what Krishna says to Arjun in 2.13. Next is 2.14, which will be my last verse, and then I'll pass on. So this is another really important one because it talks about our senses, our happiness and distress. So usually हमारे अंदर जो सोल है, it can feel the happiness and it can feel the sadness, the dukh, the distress, but how do you manage it? The Krishna says कि जो समझदार है वो दुख और सुख दोनों को बराबर में लेगा, वो दोनों को अपने आत्मा पे असर नहीं करने देगा, उसके लिए यूज टू नहीं होने देगा. इन सिंपल लैंग्वेज वी शुडंट लेट हमारे दुख और सुख टू गेट हावी ऑन अस. वी जस्ट हैव टू मेक श्योर वी ट्रीट इट इक्वली एंड वी जस्ट बेयर इट, नॉट गेट अकस्टम टू इट कि सुख है तो बस सुख के ही आदी हो जाओ या दुख है तो दुख के ही आदी हो जाओ. वी नीड टू लेट इट पास.
That's okay.
Mataji, take your own time. हम लोग last हैं.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you, Krishna. For Jashriji and Amitji. Like we were introduced to this, I think 6 months back, and I think the whole week we wait to come here. I think that's one of the biggest changes, learnings for us. So the book is all about learning, right? And I think today we've got an opportunity to explain one of the main things, one of the main teachings in Bhagavad Gita, that who am I? That's the crux of identity. What I've learned. I might be overlapping what you guys have said, but what I understood and what I want to say is, for example, when you go in a test, they ask you to write an essay, but they never gave you a topic. So whatever you write will be wrong because you never got a topic, and that's why it is very important to know who you are. And because otherwise, Krishna sent you on earth to do your job, do your duty, which are the two ones. But if you don't know who you are, whatever you do, you are doing wrong. So it is very important to know who you are. And similarly, my interpretation from chapter 2, 11 to 30 verse was that Arjuna was, as everybody heard that in the first chapter and the second chapter, that Arjuna was very confused and did not want to fight with his teacher, with his family, and he did not know what his duty was. And at this time, he surrenders to Krishna, and Krishna from a friend turned into a guru. And I didn't know that before, but while searching about there is a very big meaning. Nowadays we use guru as very common, like, oh, he's a yoga guru or he's an office guru and he knows everything. But guru word itself, gu and ru is actually two words, which is that gu means ignorance and ru means the person who remover of. So the person who removes your ignorance is your guru. And it is like even the small word from Bhagavad Gita makes so much sense and so much meaning that every time you read any word and whatever mindset you are, it's totally different. It gives you a different meaning. So don't take it light when you read Bhagavad Gita. It is very deep. And I'll let Neha to explain the rest of the. And
1 more minute.
1 more minute. All right.
Hare Krishna, everyone. So this is where Krishna takes the leadership role as a guru and starts teaching Arjuna, and he chastises Arjuna for saying, why are you lamenting? You say that you are such a learned man, but you are behaving like a fool. You are trying not to fight people that are just a body and not a soul. And then Krishna goes on to define what are the characteristics of a soul and what are the dimensions of a soul. So when we talk about that, we say that a soul is unborn, it never dies, it can never be burned, it's insoluble, it can never be slain. And if you talk about the dimensions of a soul, if you look at just one strand of your hair and took the tip of the hair and you divide it into 10,000 parts, that one part is the soul. And the nature of the soul is always to seek happiness. So it will always look in different directions because the fundamental nature of the soul is to serve. You can finish it. You can say the last sentence. Krishna says, what's the duty for Arjuna?
Krishna says you should not
Grieve
for the body. You should fight so that dharma can be established.
Thank you, CM. Thank you, everybody.
प्रभु हो गया प्रसादों का टाइम हो गया
अभी अभी तो खाना है. So now Arjun has surrendered to Krishna. Krishna is the Guru of Arjun. The first thing which Guru teaches in life is who you are. The first thing Guru teaches is who you are and what is the purpose of life. So Arjun has taught that to, Krishna has taught that to Arjun. Now, verse number 31 to 53. Thakur family, Vikram Rajani Prabhu and Saurabh Prabhu family. Please come.
कर्म किए जा
Huh?
पार्टनर इन क्राफ्ट प्रभु
इनको माइक की जरूरत नहीं
Inbuilt mic.
धमकी देखी है ना उसमें टेस्ट लेता है जैसे अरे मूवी में वो भगवत गीता अपने अपने के साथ
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण
कुछ पूछना था बस
प्रभु टाइम जा रहा है
so चालू हो गया sorry प्रभु by this time Arjun had enough and Krishna had enough as well so अभी प्रभु बोलते हैं कृष्णा बस just fight कर सुन ले मेरी बात तो essentially from verse 1 to 10 Arjun gave a reason not to fight and from 11 to 30 Krishna answers only one question of Arjuna why to fight and from 30 to 31 there is two questions Krishna answered of Arjuna 30 to 38 and that is Arjuna asked what if I kill them all then how I'm going to enjoy the kingdom and second was if I kill them will it incur sin and from verse 31 to 38 is basically a karma kanda and Krishna says to Arjuna one by one you are a warrior and there is no higher duty than to fight for a warrior so it is your dharma ये तुम्हारा कर्तव्य है forget everything just fight by this time Krishna was really annoyed and once you decided to do something you must put everything all your effort to accomplish it this is what Krishna says to Arjuna and put all your might and strength there is no point fearing or thinking once you have decided to do something just go ahead and do it in verse 32 same thing continues is a dharma yodha is a gateway to Swarg or I call it Vaikuntha but this is Swarg and it is not for everyone you are lucky to be in a situation where you are going to fight not everybody got this opportunity to do dharma yodha there is not happiness more than accepting the challenge and get on with it and just this is yuddha this yuddha is door to the Swarg and 33 Krishna says what will happen if he doesn't fight as a warrior it is your duty to fight if you don't it is a sin you will lose your reputation as a fighter and two things will happen it will be a sin and your reputation will go down Krishna further says it is apyash you will get apyash if you don't fight because it is your duty to fight and if you don't fight you will get apyash it's worse than death your name will be there forever you as a warrior even defeat is better than refusing to fight
Do you want to give it to others? 2 minutes.
No, I did not complete yet.
Okay, thank you. So basically, I will talk from verse 37 to 44. So here now start the process of Sanatan Dham, where Arjun has been asked to just fight with no expectation, in return as this would be an act free from karmic reactions. Basically, Arjun, Krishna want to explain to Arjun that karam kareja fal ki iksha mat kar. So that is the basically it want to explain it. Now, second point is regarding his soul, because as I remember that in second chapter majorly talks for soul. So Krishna clearly instructed Arjun that the real thing in the eternal soul, which is different from body or matter, which is temporary. If we want to understand that process, so in the IT world, we are working in IT world. So if we have created any object, so we can consider as a soul. But if we in properties and values, we can change in the body, but we cannot destroy that soul, that object which we have created. So basically, just I want to link with. Okay, now Priyanka Mataji.
So the best part is that work done under the Krishna consciousness by the soul is always counted and added on his credit and stays with the soul, unlike material tasks which ends with one's body. That means basically whatever the crux of Krishna consciousness, if we are putting Krishna in the center of everything, whatever we are doing, so that will be considered as a karma, not good karma or bad karma. And in this material world, most of the people are suffering with the poor knowledge, and that is why they just waste their human form of life. So I just
Hare Krishna. Here I'll be throwing light from verse 45 to 51, where Krishna instructs Arjuna, saying that one needs to go beyond this material platform, needs to think beyond, needs to transcend beyond that, and not get entangled by those three modes of material nature, where you end up becoming a puppet and being pulled by those strings of various three modes, basically. And one has to realize that the constitutional position of the soul is to serve dharma, is to serve the Lord. That is the Sanatana. By performing also your swadharma, which you are in that material form. So that's it.
Thank you. Thank you, Vikram Prabhu, Saurabh Prabhu's family, and Amit Prabhu's family. Thank you so much. So Krishna over here says, Swalpa api apyasya dharmasya. That means whatever little we do in bhakti, that remains us eternally. Now Krishna talks about the last part of second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which is Atmaram. So I request Amit Prabhu, Rajiv Prabhu, and Rahul Prabhu's family to come and present verses 54 to 72, and we have exactly 5 minutes. So just about 1.5 minutes for family.
In the 54, Hare Krishna, everyone.
So Hare, can I request everybody to settle down?
In verse 54, Arjuna is asking Krishna that what are the qualities of the person who is Krishna consciousness. So, like the person who is in Samadhi, so how does he, what is his quality, how does he walk, talk and think and feel. So in 55 the Krishna says the quality of Krishna consciousness person is he automatically subsides his senses, desires, and the soul always remains in the satisfied in himself by realizing himself as an internal servitor of the supreme law.
Hare Krishna. Shloka 56. In this shloka, Lord Krishna is giving the definition of a saint or a स्थिरबुद्धि पर्सन दुखों की प्राप्ति होने पर जिसके मन में घृणा नहीं होती और सुखों की प्राप्ति की जिसके मन में इच्छा नहीं है, जो बे इच्छा और क्रोध से मुक्त है, that man is called saint or स्थिर बुद्धि.
In verse 57, Prabhupada says that Krishna is explaining us that what are the 4 sutras of life. love without expecting, live without pretending, speak without offending, hear without defending. And he also says that we are either Krishna's das or Maya's das. And this Prabhuji told us that Maya ka das sada udas and Krishna ka das bin das. In 50 in verse 58, Krishna is telling Arjun that use your senses for me, don't use it for any material things. And he's again telling that keep Krishna, Prabhupada is telling that keep Krishna in center and pray for him.
In verse 2.59, by experiencing a higher taste through Krishna consciousness, one can cease engagement in sense enjoyment and being fixed in consciousness, transcending material desires and finding fulfilled in spiritual pursuits such as chanting, dancing, feasting, repeating, and accepting current situation and lowering the expectation. This process helps one cut across the taste for sense enjoyment and material pleasure, leading to a state of transcendental consciousness beyond the need of your senses.
In 2.60, he says that life of devotee revolves around 3 Ds: discipline, determination, and devotion. And Krishna consciousness is such transcendental thing that automatically material enjoyment becomes distasteful.
I'm covering 2.61 to 64, 65, 66 also will cover. Okay. No, 65. So what Krishna is saying is, without Krishna consciousness, we can't control our senses. And this has been reflected in couple of examples where Haridas Thakur, when he was chanting and he was fully conscious, and when a lady tried to distract him, he was completely conscious. He didn't worry about what's happening around, and he kept chanting, and eventually the lady started chanting with him. That's the most important thing. And if our senses are not controlled, we have examples like Lord Shiva and even Lord Brahma, who actually lost their control. Even Vishwamitra also lost his control. What it really means is, even if you are God, but if you can't control your senses and if you're not conscious of Krishna, basically you can make mistakes. But as an ordinary human being who was Haridas Thakur, and he kept chanting, he was fully conscious, he was not fallen. He was completely focused on Krishna. The other few things which it was mentioned is how we can be Krishna conscious in the further verses. And one of the things is how do we control our senses? If we try to just control saying that aaj se main mithai nahi khaunga, especially for me, it's not possible. I can do it for a week, I can do it for a few days, but it is not possible. So I think anything which is offered to Krishna as an example, anything which is kept Krishna in the center, that helps. And once that is done, even आप मिठाई भी खा सकते हैं. You don't need to really worry about that. Yeah.
Okay, so I have 15 seconds. I did 2.65. The verse talks about how people that are situated in Krishna consciousness and the threefold miseries of material existence no longer affects them. Hence, the intelligence is well established. The first misery is adhyatmic, which is caused by the body and themselves, such as mental or physical illnesses. The second misery is adhi-bhautik, which is suffering caused by other living beings, such as betrayal. Finally, the last misery is adhi-devik, where the misery is caused by the higher authority. These include natural disasters and problems that exist in this world, such as poverty and natural disasters.
They are the host, so let them. The host of the web. You can't stop them.
So first of all, Ojasvi Prabhu, I would like to thank you because you are my spiritual guru, and after a long time, I mean, I was trying to understand the Bhagavad Gita, but this is the first time I understand it, and I'm getting a chance to explain few of the verses here. So the count has already started, but it's okay.
So we will be explaining verse number 67 to 72. Out of that, I will explain about verse number 67 and 68.
30 seconds each.
Yeah.
2 minutes.
So, verse number 67. इंद्रियाणाम ही चरता यन्मुना नु विधीयत तदस्य हरति प्रज्ञा वायुर्ना वन वाम्भिस. ये जो वर्स है, in this verse actually Krishna warns Arjuna that the God has provided us 5 senses, and out of those 5 senses, if any one of the sense will try to deviate from the Krishna consciousness, then the whole purpose of Krishna consciousness will get deviated. So that is the main intention of this verse. The next verse is 2.61. तस्मादस्य महाबाह्यो निगृहीतानि सर्वशा इंद्रियाणि इंद्रियार्थे तस्य मस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता. So this verse actually explains us that one can restrict our senses of gratification by keeping them engaged in the services of Lord, and this is possible under the guidance of sadhaka, that is nothing but the spiritual master.
In verse 71, the Lord speaks of the man who attains peace. 4 conditions should be fulfilled before a man could attain supreme peace of the self. All desires should be given up. There should be no taste or relish for them. The feeling of me and mine should be given up, and the ego-centered attitude should be dropped.
So in verse 69, so they have mentioned there are 2 types of intelligent men. One who enjoys the materialistic things, who consider material enjoyment as a real purpose of the life, and the other category is where the person who is wise with divine knowledge and sees sense of enjoyment as is harmful to the soul. And in the next verse, the way ocean remains undisturbed, even if there are so many rivers who are merging to the ocean. So the same way the Krishna conscious person should remain undisturbed, even if there are so many desires which are coming on the way.
Verse 72 explains that one can attain Krishna consciousness or divine life at within a second or one minute not. Attain such a state of life even after millions of births. It is only a matter of understanding and accepting the fact.
Jai. Thank you. Thank you everyone for participating so nicely. कैसा रहा? Did anybody?
ऐसा बार-बार होना चाहिए.
बार-बार होना चाहिए ना?
नहीं तो टाइम पास. हाँ? नहीं तो टाइम पास करके मतलब नहीं.
हाँ. So you should read and come. When you read and when you share, you'll have a realization. Okay, it's a very deep philosophy. Guru ka word, gu and ru, very nice, no? Prabhupada talks about it. Guru is heavy. Guru is not time pass. Okay. Alright. Anybody would like to share anything? Any real kids next time? We have it's 8:50, so we'll have a half an hour session for next time, only for dedicated for kids. Okay, get the kids. जो बीवी से पढ़े.
Very fast.
All the kids can say some shlokas while kids are settling down. A very quick announcements, very super quick. Ek minute.
We'll get it.
You got to sit down, say
Sit down, everyone.
I request everybody to pay attention because this is very important announcements I'm making. So next week we will not have Bhakti Vriksha over here. ये घर पे नहीं है. Just before you come, 5-7 minutes before, there's a big hall. I forgot. Duncan Reserve Hall. So next week,
Duncan Mackinnon.
हाँ Duncan Mackinnon Reserve. वो hall पे हम मिलेंगे. His Holiness Bhakti Purushottam Swami Maharaj. He will be coming over here and he will be addressing. So we'll have more than 300 people coming from eastern suburb only. So don't pass on this information to western suburb, नहीं तो वहाँ के लोग आएंगे, we don't have capacity. So there are 5 to 6 Bhakti Vrikshas in the eastern suburb. All the Bhakti Vrikshas will be coming over there. So for you, you may have never seen a sannyasi in the past, and you may have never seen other Bhakti Vriksha members. So this is a good opportunity for you to see them and come there. So we'll share more information on the group. But next Friday, no class over here. Our Bhakti Vriksha has taken up the service of serving prasadam. Other Bhakti Vriksha has taken service to set up. One Bhakti Vriksha has taken the service of cleanup. So अपने राजीव प्रभु के भरोसे पे हमने ये सर्विस ली है. So we will be serving the prasadam to all the people. So Rajiv Prabhu, I'll leave it up to you. If you can just have a core team. Okay, we need 8 to 10 people to set up the prasadam. So Prabhu's most likely. So please help us out over there. Same time. Timing will be the same. Perhaps 15 minutes early. So 6:45 we have to reach, not 7 o'clock. Okay? Huh? नहीं सर्विस तो सब कर सकते हैं. I'm just letting Prabhu, he will be doing it, right? So he's usually doing in the temple, so he knows what to do. Next Sunday, not this Sunday, next Sunday, I forgot the date. We will all play badminton and table tennis in MSAC. Please give a round of applause. MSAC तो पता है ना, मेलबर्न Sports and Aquatic Center, मंदिर के पास है. Yeah, so the idea is we come to the temple at 7 o'clock in the morning, do Shringar Arati, attend Bhagavatam, have breakfast prasadam together, and then we will book table tennis courts and badminton courts for 3 hours from 9:30 to 12:30. 3 घंटे हम लोग खेलेंगे. खेलने के बाद 12:30 to 1 o'clock we will go back to the temple, and 1 o'clock we will have lunch prasadam. So breakfast at the temple, lunch at the temple, and beach में मस्ती. And this idea is belongs to Karthik. So please give a round of applause to Karthik for his idea. We had the first Bhakti Vriksha picnic 3-4 months ago. Out of that, we had $116 left over. From that $116 which we had left over, we have got tilak, counter, and tulsi beads for everybody. So while having prasadam, we'll come and give it to you. If you have it, you don't need to take it, but if you want it, still take it. So सबके लिए हम लाए हैं वो $116 जो बच गए थे ना, उसमें से ये लाए हैं. Next, one day for Krishna, which is 9th of June. I've shared the information already. So please plan. सुबह 4:30 बजे से लेकर रात में 9:30 बजे तक. We will all be together, intense bhakti one day. Give one day to Krishna and see how it feels. Then 27th, 28th and 29th of September, we have booked Hare Krishna Valley. I forgot to tell Rajesh Prabhu and Amit Prabhu. So we have booked Hare Krishna Valley completely for our Bhakti Vriksha. So we will 27th of September, it's a grand final public holiday. 27th of September, it's a Friday, which is a grand final holiday. So Friday सुबह से लेके Saturday पूरा दिन and Sunday शाम तक, all of us will be there at Hare Krishna Valley. We did this 2.5 years ago. It was an amazing time. Cow feeding, we go to the lawn, we come back. It's very, very good thing. And then on 4th of August, one day, which we will celebrate a Bhakti Vriksha anniversary on 4th of August. So that details will be there. But Amit Prabhu will reach out to you because we have booked out the complete Hare Krishna Valley. So no access to anybody else. So there are 4 ashrams, 4 ghar hai, and we have booked out. So only 50 people can accommodate, and we have 70 to 80 people who come over here. So first come, first basis, we need 50% of the Lakshmi, and the 50% can be paid later, so that we can book. And it is very, very cheap. You know, the costing is coming around $130, $140 per person. That includes prasadam and stay for 3 days. So khana, peena, so, but we will be cooking over there. हम लोग cook करेंगे, and we will do everything. So that will be nice, like a family staying together, all in once. We'll have sports, we'll have dramas, we'll work something out. ठीक है? Any questions on this? Are we all? Huh?
So both of these are Hare
Yes.
Krishna?
Yeah,
Okay.
because we are Hare Krishna.
Valid.
We are? So we'll go forth. The reason is we couldn't get anything else on 27, 28 and 29 because of grand final. And honestly speaking, going to Hare Krishna Valley is much better because we will have our own kitchen facilities. Because we don't usually cook where meat is cooked and everything. So this is our exclusive facility for kitchen apna hoga. We will have a temple hall. So in the morning we will all chant 16 rounds. We have farm manager Keshav Prabhu. He is Western body for practicing Bhakti Krishna consciousness for 30 plus years. So he will be giving morning classes. We'll have a very nice sattvic and bhakti environment over there. Okay? Are we all ready?
Yeah.
So I'll request please respond to Amit Prabhu's response next week because we want to pay 50% and we only have 50 people can come. Only first 50. Please फिर उसके बाद मत बोलना कि वहाँ पे आश्रम में जगह नहीं है. Then you have to put up your tent and sleep outside, which we don't want. ठीक है? Any questions on this?
Both are Hare Krishna Valley.
हाँ माताजी. One is on 4th of August. One is on 27th of September. तो अभी से plan कर रहे हैं so people don't miss out. Yes. We have this is the counter beads. We have this and that one, the counter beads. So when you chant, you know how many beads are over here? Any guess? How many beads? 20. So there are 20 beads. ये जो चार होते हैं, this goes on the right and then 16 comes over here. And each time you do your first 16, then 32 rounds, then 48 rounds and 64 rounds is what we are supposed to do. I repeat. Actually, 16 rounds is just minimum. Actually, we are supposed to do how many rounds a day? 64 rounds take how many hours? 7 to 8 hours. So Prabhupada said you can't do 7 to 8 hours of chanting, at least 2 hours. Less than 2 hours. So actually these are 20 counter, 16 left side pe, 4 right side pe. When I heard this for the first time, I thought कोई मजाक कर रहा है मेरे साथ. हाँ घट्टा भगवान का नाम कोई कैसे ले सकता है? But कल एकादशी है. Tomorrow is Ekadashi is a day for counting and accounting. So please, if you are not chanting 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day, tomorrow is a day where you can increase 2 more rounds, 4 more rounds, 1 round. Start somewhere in your bhakti because this is all which is going to come with us. Everything is going to be multiplied by 0 at the time of death. And that is just around the corner for all of us. Okay. I'll pass it on to the kids. I know it's almost 9 o'clock, but we'll have kids very, very quickly. 30 seconds per kid, okay?
30 seconds per kid.
No, not per kid, for everyone.
For one each.
First shloka.
Okay, first shloka.
Aham sarvasya prabhavo mata sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samarvita. 2. Vinaya sadhuna ninashaya chatuskrita dharma sansthapanataya sambhavami yuge yuge. 3. Dharma karma cha me divyam evam yo vedi tattvata tattvadeham punarjanma naiti mameti so Arjuna. 4. Namaha Pankajanavaya Namaha Pankajamaine Namaha Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajaamre.
5.
Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopika Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute.
6.
Tapta Kanchan
Gaurangi, Swarnabhi Vrindavaneshwari, Vishwanushri Devi, Pranami Hari Priye.
7.
Karpanya dosha. You can say that. You know that one.
Om Namo Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale, Srimati Bhakti Vriksha Swami Iti Namini.
Namaste.
Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachayine, Devi Sahasranyavadi
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Karpanya Doshopahata Swabhava, Vishwamitva Dharma Samudra Yakshe Yaksha Nishchitam Guhitam Me Shishyaste Sarvam Sadimam Prabandam.
Krishna baro doyo moy,
Kari bare jiva jai,
kori bare jiva jai,
Swaprasadam Amrita Bhao,
swaprasadam amrita pao,
Sriramnamrita Bhao,
Sriramnamrita pao,
Radha Krishna Gun Gao,
Radha Krishna gun gao,
Shri Thakur Ji Nidai,
Prem mein tako chatan mein naay,
Jai Nimai, Jai Nimai,
Jai Nimai, Jai Nimai,
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Prabhu Nityananda,
Prabhu Nityananda,
Shri Advaita Gadadhar,
Shri Advaita Gadadhar,
Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda.
Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Right. This is the success of our program. Honestly, when kids say this is so nice and so nice. Parents को कितना अच्छा लगता है. You know, when kids progress in bhakti, there's nothing higher than that. I can watch for it. There's nothing higher. When you see your kids progressing in bhakti, no material thing can compare to it. So thank you so much. We will not do Narasimha Aarti today. In the interest of time, we're already 5 minutes over. So we won't do it. Thank you so much. Shila